Hi there, I'm Kendra Perry, business coach for health coach, and let's talk about money. So if I'm being honest, I fucking love talking about money, but maybe you don't feel the same. Maybe it makes you anxious or stressed out, or you just like to avoid it altogether. And I'm gonna be totally blunt. If you aren't willing to look at your finances, you are going to struggle financially. But don't worry, in this video, I'm gonna give you 6 money management tips that are gonna help you manage your finances like a boss. I am so glad you tuned in, as always, and if you are a health coach and you want more tips and strategies for your wellness business, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell so that you get notified when I post a new video. Okay, so I totally get it. Managing money and looking at your finances is totally overwhelming. There was a time where I actually believed that I was bad with money because I'd actually been told that my entire life. So ultimately, that is what played out. I felt really uncomfortable looking at my bank statement, looking at my credit card, and the result was that I always went into overdraft or I overspent my credit card and I ended up accumulating a small amount of debt. And honestly, this whole money thing actually almost prevented me from starting a business because I knew that having a business meant that I needed to learn to manage my money. But luckily, the fear of being broke and having no money at all took over and I started my business anyways. And today I manage a multiple 6-figure company with multiple team members. So I do actually have a very good relationship with money and I'm very good at managing it. So just remember that making money is fucking pointless if you don't know how to manage it, because people who make a shitload of money go bankrupt all the time. So it's really, really important that you at least adopt some basic money management tips like the ones we are going to get into today. So tip number 1, you need to separate your bank accounts. So you don't want to be combining personal and business expenses because that just gets confusing, right? So you want to have a bank account for personal, a bank account for business, and you also want to have a credit card for personal and a credit card for business. It's really important to separate out your expenses so that you can track what you are actually spending in your business. Very, very important. So if you haven't already done this, do it today. It doesn't take that long. Number 2 is to hire a fucking bookkeeper. It's crazy, but I actually didn't hire a bookkeeper until about a year ago. So my first 4 to 5 years in business, I was doing all my own bookkeeping. And I get that when you are new, you have a new business, you don't have a lot of money, it's really tempting to try and do everything yourself. But what I can absolutely guarantee is your bookkeeping does not move your business forward or help you make money, okay? I actually can't believe I waited so long to invest in a bookkeeper, because once I did, she actually showed me that I was making about 4 times the amount of work than I needed to do. So a bookkeeper can do bookkeeping a million times faster than you can, and it will help relieve the anxiety and stress. This is probably one of the most important investments that you can make as a new business owner. So do it now, hire a bookkeeper. Step number 3 is to analyze your cash flow. And you want to do this on a regular basis. So maybe you do this weekly, every 2 weeks, or maybe monthly. Me personally, I do this monthly. I look at the report that my bookkeeper gives me every single month, and I really analyze where is my money coming from, right? I like to analyze my income streams, see which one is performing the best. And I also look at each and every one of my business expenses. And I ask myself, am I using this platform? Is this helping me move my business forward? Is this necessary? Because if it doesn't fit into that category, I get rid of that expense. So this is really important to do. And I know it can feel overwhelming and maybe give you anxiety, because honestly, a lot of us don't even want to look at our money. But the truth is, when we're online, we're constantly getting sold to, and sometimes, I don't know if you're like me, but I get distracted by shiny objects. So sometimes I'll purchase a platform just because it's on promo, even though I might not really need it. And if I don't look at my monthly cash flow, then I might actually forget that I'm paying for it. So if you don't look at this at regular intervals, then you might actually be wasting money, which is something you do not want to do. Step number 4 is to pay yourself first. Okay, so most business owners are actually doing this the opposite way. They are paying their expenses first and then paying themselves what is left over. And unfortunately, often there's not a lot actually left over to pay them, right? So ultimately, people don't pay themselves anything, okay? So I actually got this advice from the book Profit First, which I highly recommend you reading. I will link to it below this video. But You need to pay yourself first and then your expenses next. So what you want to do is you want to sit down and you want to really figure out what you need for personal expenses. So this is going to include your rent or mortgage, your insurance, cost of food, cost of gas, cost of your extras, maybe your gym pass or your yoga pass. You also want to put aside money for taxes, right? And you also want to put aside money for investments because of course, as entrepreneurs, we don't have fucking pensions, right? So we have to invest in our own future. So to start out, I recommend just 10% a month into your investment, which isn't that much. So you wanna figure out what this total number is, and that's actually the amount that you wanna pay yourself first each and every month. And so you might be wondering, well, what do I do if there's not enough left over for my expenses? Well, that actually tells you something, right? It tells you that you either need to reduce those expenses or you need to make more money, right? We can only reduce our expenses to a certain amount because we do need to spend a little bit of money to run our business, but ultimately we don't need much. But probably what needs to be done is you need to make more money, okay? So if you're having trouble attracting money into your business, it probably has to do with your marketing strategy, but a bigger part of it might actually be your mindset, okay? So there is something called a scarcity mentality or scarcity mindset that actually prevents you from attracting new clients and money into your business. So I actually have a video on that and I'm gonna link to that below this video. Number 5 is invest in the basics and save the extras for later, okay? So the truth is, I mentioned this before, but you don't actually need a ton of platforms or services to run a business, okay? So I actually get really annoyed when I see health coaches who have never run a course investing in expensive course platforms, for example. So they're investing in Thinkific or Teachable. And trust me, I love these platforms. I actually use Thinkific. I think it's great, but you don't need to start with an expensive course platform to host a course. My first course was run off a PDF doc that literally linked to YouTube videos, so 100% free. So always start with the basic. Don't get caught up or distracted by all these flashy, fancy platforms because really, in the end, you don't need much to run your business. So let's actually break this down. So what do you actually need to run a business? Well, you need a website and hosting, right? You need an email marketing platform. You need graphic design. You need a client management platform, and you probably need social media scheduling. And guys, for those platforms, it's actually not that much money. So Squarespace is $18 a month. ActiveCampaign, which is what I recommend for email marketing, starts at $15 a month. Canva, which is a fantastic graphic design platform, is $12.95 a month. A fantastic client management platform is Practice Better, and they start at about $49 a month for up to 200 clients. And then Social Media Scheduler I recommend is Later, and they actually start free, so you can get one account for free, and then to upgrade, I believe the next level up is around $9. So if we total that up, how much is that? Well, that is $127.95. So honestly, it's not actually that much, right? So this is a great place to start. And then as your business grows and you generate more money, you can start adding in some of those extra fancy platforms. But honestly, guys, even as a person who runs a multiple six-figure business, I don't actually spend that much more than the basics, okay? So I have the basics with the addition of ClickFunnels for my landing pages, Thinkific for my courses. I have a pro version of Voxer. I have a pro version of Dropbox, and I have a pro Zoom account. So if you total up all those, the total is somewhere around $417. So when you look at that in the context of someone who has a multiple six-figure business, it's not that much. So you really don't need much to run a business. And this is why I really love minimalism in business, because you keep your expenses low and keep more of the profit for yourself. Okay, so let's move on to number 6, which honestly isn't exactly a money management tip, but it is incredibly important for your cash flow, and that is your money mindset. And we kind of mentioned this when we talked about scarcity mentality, but this is super, super important. So your beliefs around money ultimately are going to confirm your reality. So if you don't believe you're worthy of money, or you don't believe that people will afford the cost of your services, then you are gonna have a problem with cash flow. So guys, if you hear yourself saying any of the following, you definitely have a money mindset issue. I'm bad with money. I'm unworthy of money. People can't afford the cost of my services. I don't need money to be happy. Money is the root of all evils, and wanting money makes me a bad person. So if any of these come up for you, be aware, be conscious, listen, because these might be happening kind of subconsciously, but it does mean that you need to repair your relationship with money. So just remember, being bad with money is not a permanent state. If money management overwhelms you, change it. You can reach out to a family member, a friend, or even hire a financial coach, but this is going to be incredibly important for growing your business. And just remember, you are just as worthy as anyone else in the world of receiving money. Thousands of people can afford the cost of your services because honestly, there are millions of people who are sick and they need to get healthy. And if they see value in what they do and what you do, they will pay the money. Money does not equal happiness, but it sure makes being happier a lot more fucking easy, right? It gives you freedom, it gives you control, and it gives you ability for the fun stuff like travel and adventure. Money is not the root of all evils. Yes, some evil people with money do evil things, but money is not the root of all evil, right? It's energy, and great things can be done with money. And wanting money has nothing to do with the type of person you are. It does not make you a bad person. It means that you want freedom, comfort, and happiness, and there ain't nothing fucking wrong with that. All right, so let's quickly sum that up, guys. So in order to properly manage your money, you want to, number one, separate your bank accounts. Number two, hire a fucking bookkeeper. Number three, analyze your cash flow at regular intervals. Number four, pay yourself first. Number five, invest in the basics and save the extras for later. And number six, repair your money mindset. Okay, so if you found this video helpful, definitely let me know by liking it, subscribing to my channel, and share it with anyone who you think it might help. And if you love this video, make sure to comment in the comments below, money, money, and that will let me know to make more videos just like this one. Okay, so remember, money is good, money is awesome. Now go out there and make some fucking money and then tell me all about it.